When you think of bog bodies, your mind probably jumps to places like Ireland or Denmark. You might picture the Tollund Man, whose face is so lifelike you can almost see the wrinkles, or the young Rost Girl, found with her tiny woolen shroud. These amazing finds from Europe have captured imaginations around the world. But what if I told you that North America holds its own incredible secrets buried deep within its watery lands? Not just a few ancient remains, but an entire community from a time so distant, it makes the pyramids of Egypt seem new. Today, we're going to explore one of the most important archaeological sites in North America, the Windover Archaeological Site in Florida. It's a place that has changed everything we thought we knew about early life on this continent. Get ready to uncover a story of accidental discovery, unbelievable preservation, and a window into a world thousands of years ago. What secrets does this watery grave hold about people who lived so long ago? Our story begins in 1982 in a quiet area near Titusville, Florida. A man named Steve Vanderjagt was working a backhoe, clearing land for a new neighborhood called Windover Farms. As his machine dug into the wet earth, he hit something unexpected. It was a human skull. At first, everyone thought it might be a recent crime scene, so they called the police. But soon, it became clear that this was something much, much older. An archaeologist named Dr. Glenn Doran from Florida State University was called to the site. What he and his team found next was truly astonishing. Underneath the water and mud, they discovered not just one skull, but an entire ancient burial ground. This wasn't just a few bones, it was a treasure trove of history, preserved in a way no one expected in Florida. They had stumbled upon a watery graveyard holding secrets from a time long before pyramids were built. What made the Windover site so special? It was the bog itself. Bogs are wetlands where plants decay very slowly, forming thick layers of peat. But this bog was different from many others around the world. Most famous bog bodies, like those found in Europe, are preserved in bogs that are very acidic. This acid works like a pickle jar, turning skin into leather and often preserving soft tissues like muscles and organs, but dissolving bones. The Windover bog, however, had a very special secret. It held a neutral pH level, meaning it was neither too acidic nor too basic. It was also anoxic, which means it had almost no oxygen. This lack of oxygen is key, because tiny living things that cause decay, like bacteria, need oxygen to survive. Without it, they can't break down bodies. So, in the Windover bog, instead of flesh being preserved, the bones remained incredibly strong. And even more amazing, the brains of many individuals were still inside their skulls, perfectly preserved, like tiny ancient sponges. Along with the bones and brains, the bog also kept safe other delicate things, like woven fabrics, pieces of wood, and even plant seeds and pollen. This was like finding a perfect time capsule, letting us peek into a world from thousands of years ago. One of the first questions scientists had was, how old are these people? To find the answer, they used a method called radiocarbon dating. This is a clever way to figure out the age of once living things by looking at a special type of carbon inside of them. The results were mind-blowing. The Windover people lived between 7,000 and 9,000 years ago. Think about that for a moment. The famous pyramids of Egypt were built around 4,500 years ago. That means the Windover people were living, breathing, and burying their dead in Florida thousands of years before the first stones of the pyramids were even laid. The site was used for burials for about 1,000 years, showing that this special watery spot was important to these ancient communities for a very long time. The archaeologists at Windover found the remains of 168 individuals, including men, women, and children. What truly amazed them was how well preserved many of the skeletons were, but the most incredible discovery was that about 90 of these individuals still had their brains intact within their skulls. Scientists could actually study these ancient brains, learning about the health and lives of these early Americans. When these people were buried, they were placed in the bog in a very special way. Most were laid in a fetal position, almost like they were sleeping or curled up before birth. They were typically placed on their left side, with their heads pointing towards the west and their faces looking north. This suggests that their community had very particular traditions about how to honor their dead. Another fascinating detail was how the bodies were kept submerged in the bog. Many of the bodies had wooden stakes or sticks driven through the fabric wrapped around them, pinning them to the bottom of the pond. This was likely done to keep them underwater, where the special conditions could work their magic and preserve them. These weren't just simple burials. The Windover people showed great care for their deceased. Many of the bodies were wrapped in shrouds made of finely woven fabric. These textiles are the oldest known woven fabrics ever found in North America, showing that these ancient people had advanced weaving skills. They made intricate patterns using plant fibers, proving they knew how to process raw materials and create complex goods. Along with the bodies, archaeologists found grave goods, items buried with the dead. These included tools, jewelry, and even bottle gourds, which might have been used for storage or as containers. The swiftness of burial, within 48 hours of death, also shows their dedication to these rituals. The Windover site offers a rare peek into the daily lives of these ancient Floridians. They were hunter-gatherers, meaning they found their food by hunting animals and gathering plants. However, the site suggests they might have been semi-sedentary. This means they didn't wander all the time, but probably had a home base they returned to, perhaps moving with the seasons, but always coming back to this special pond for burials, especially in late summer or early fall. The evidence shows that they were a close-knit, family-oriented society, even caring for the sick and elderly among them. Their diet was rich and varied. By studying the contents of their stomachs and even the pollen found in the bog, scientists learned that they ate wild grapes, elderberries, prickly pear fruit, and many other berries. They also ate cattail roots, hickory nuts, mulberries, blackberries, and palm hearts. For protein, they hunted deer, raccoons, and possums, and they fished for various types of fish and shellfish. The discovery of shark teeth and saltwater shells suggests that some members of the community made trips to the ocean, bringing back resources from the coast. The wear on their teeth tells us that they ate a tough diet, full of natural fibers. The technology of the Windover people was also quite advanced for their time. They created tools from bone, like pointed awls, perforators, punches, and pins, which were likely used for working with hides or weaving. They also made wooden tools. One important hunting tool they used was the atlatl, a spear-throwing device that allowed them to throw spears with greater speed and force. For processing food, they used mortars and pestles, including some unique double-ended pestles. They also made animal snares for hunting. The bottle gourds they found were likely used as containers for storing water or food. The fabric discoveries were particularly exciting. The 86 pieces of textile found in 37 graves showed 7 different weaving patterns, all made from plant fibers, possibly from palm. This highly skilled craftsmanship suggests they likely used looms to create these intricate designs. Perhaps one of the most surprising findings involved medicinal plants. Inside the stomach contents of one woman, scientists found high amounts of holly, elderberry, and nightshade. This suggests that the Windover people knew about the healing properties of these plants and used them for medicine to treat illnesses. Grapes were also found and might have been used for pain relief. The Windover Archaeological Site completely changes what scientists thought they knew about early people in North America. Before Windover, many believed that ancient archaic peoples were mostly nomadic, always moving from place to place. But Windover showed that some were more semi-sedentary, living in one area for long periods and returning to special places like the bog. The site also shattered the idea that early Native Americans were simple or primitive. The advanced weaving technology, the care for the sick, and the complex burial rituals all show that these people were intelligent, resourceful, and deeply spiritual people with complex societies. The sheer age of the site, predating many well-known civilizations, remind us that sophisticated cultures existed much earlier than often imagined. Windover gives us an incredible window into the past, showing us what Florida and the rest of North America were like at the end of the Ice Age and the beginning of a warmer period. Pollen samples from the site tell us about the ancient environment, like how Florida was once more like a savanna with large animals roaming around. The burials themselves reveal a deep respect for the dead and a complex understanding of the journey after life. In summary, the Windover Archaeological Site is the largest and oldest ancient burial pond complex ever found in North America. Its exceptional preservation of delicate organic materials, especially the brains and textiles, gives us insights that we couldn't get anywhere else. It tells us amazing things about the health, diet, technology, and social lives of early North American populations. What's even more exciting is that about half of the site remains unexcavated. This means future generations, with even better technology, will be able to learn even more incredible secrets from this remarkable place. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the mysteries of the Windover Archaeological Site. We hope you've been as fascinated as we are by the ancient stories these bogs have to tell. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, please hit that like button to show your support and subscribe to our channel for more amazing history content. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. And we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What surprised you the most about the Windover people? Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and we'll catch you in the next video.